is ATN Global News. First, the headlines. NIMC holds annual conference in Port Harcourt. Deadly collusion kills police officers. Federal government approves National Citizens Value Brigade. U.S. commit $320 million to SMEs in Nigeria. 15 killed in tribal clashes in Pakistan. Owen predicts team to win trophy. The video to perform in New York.
The people of Maiduguri need your help. A catastrophic flood has engulfed the city, leaving over 1 million residents stranded and fighting for survival. Entire communities are submerged, with people trapped inside homes and on rooftops cut off from food, clean drinking water and essential supplies. Health experts are warning of a potential outbreak of deadly diseases, and medical facilities are out of commission. The situation is dire. Helicopters, boats and high-riding trucks capable of navigating the treacherous, waterlogged areas are urgently required to reach the countless men, women and children still awaiting rescue. The Nigerian media is issuing a desperate plea to the government, humanitarian organizations, international actors and citizens across the nation. Step in now, before it's too late. For more information on how you can help, contact Professor Usman A. Tar, the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Internal Security, Borno State, on 0809-233-3955. Every second counts.
And now the rest of our stories was packed with lots of activities marking the event. ATN correspondent Oluchi Wafo was on ground.
2024 Annual National Conference of the Nigerian Institute of Management Chartered continued today, Tuesday, the 24th of September 2024, at the Obiwali Annual General Meeting of the Institute, aimed at receiving the President's statement and report of the Council for the year 2023. Also to receive the audited accounts for the year 2023 and to reappoint auditors, authorize the council to fix their remuneration. The event also featured breakout section where panelists spoke extensively on issues that could hinder economic growth. Speaking on foreign exchange crisis, inflation and food security, Latifat Lawal, an agro-business specialist, stress on the need for increase of food productivity in the nation.
Once again, I want to speak on the need for us to increase our productivity. Agriculture is a low-hanging fruit. I don't know why it's so hard for us as a nation to see. It's a low-hanging fruit. It's something that if we put in some effort, these three issues, foreign exchange, just like I mentioned yesterday, we are importing so much when we can even produce these things that we import. Unfortunately for us also, we don't even have the earning capacity. For us to import, we need to pay dollars. How are we earning the dollars? We don't even have it. Luckily, it's forcing us as producers to look inwards. So a lot of people that even import things like wheat and milk and all of that, they're starting to look inwards. We have to do it from ourselves.
On his part, Dr. Chinyere Igwe, while highlighting on media and information management in a crisis situation, noted that the media serves as key platform for educating the public about the nature of economic crisis, its causes and potential solutions. On accountability, Dr. Chinyere said the media can hold the government accountable through the covering of government action, policy and public programs, adding that information management is crucial in shaping how economic solution is perceived globally. Conclusively, Dr. Chinyere maintained that media and information management are instrumental in ensuring that Nigerian public is well informed, that the government is held accountable, and that solutions to crises are communicated effectively to both local and global audience.
Nigeria can flow and manage better information during crisis when we ensure that both the public and policymakers have access to the accurate and timely information necessary for effective crisis.
Provide transport infrastructure in order to sustain productivity.
The government must make sure we drive quality infrastructure, physical infrastructure. That countries have developed and are able to mitigate global shock, have world-class infrastructure. China is a living example. Today, India is developing world-class infrastructure. Without transport infrastructure, without logistic infrastructure, today the world has included even technology, broadband internet as part of the physical infrastructure they need to provide. The government must drive infrastructure build to make sure that we have an economy that is productive.
Other highlights of the event includes presentation of awards to the breakout speakers and video clips of the proposed management house building project. Oluchinwafo, ATN News, Port Harcourt.
Analyst says Rivers people have lost hope on the level of preparation by the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission in the forthcoming Rivers local government election in the state. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Open Conversation, a political analyst Chizu Oyemasila asked residents on a media chat on clarities towards the local government polls.
The research should go to INEC. I mean, the election local government should go to INEC. That's because what they find here, they thought that was bad until they came to a place that is both wicked, nonsense, and which research? How much? That's why he said, how would a research public director come to speak, commissioner speak? Speak and what? The guy know that he will let the.
This is coming after the All People's Party in Rivers State dismissed a very online list of its chairmanship candidates for the October 5th local government elections. Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja has dismissed two separate motions filed by the Edo State government and the State House of Assembly court to award a cost of 50 million naira each against the Attorney General and the State Assembly, adding that the Assembly had been truncating the order of the court, which led to their filing of Form 48. While delivering the ruling, Justice Omotosho held that the court not grant the application for a stay of execution, as he had previously given a judgment restating Shaibu, and proceeded to strike out the suit, awarded 200,000 naira each against the applicants. Political godfatherism in the party. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Open Conversation, a development advocate, Daniel Momo, said the political foundation in Edo State does not support godfatherism after considering previous records of related incidents.
With what is going on in the country, how can people vote for the APC? And I tell you that Edo people are one of the sophisticated voters in Nigeria. In the presidential election, do not forget, Edo people voted Labour Party. Labour Party won that election. They now voted for Edo Central, Edo North, won the senatorial.
In view of the peculiarity of the political status in Edo State, Mama said Edo indigenes are one of the most patriotic in the country.
See, both Edo Central, Edo North, and Edo
This is coming after the People's Democratic Party kicked against the result of Saturday's governorship election in Edo State, which as the chairman, Edo State Governorship Election National Campaign Council urged the Independent National Electoral Commission to be accountable for violating the Electoral Act. Imo State Independent Electoral Commission has issued a certificate of return to the 27 elected local government chairman. Presenting the certificates to the chairman at the Secretariat, the ISEC chairman Charles Ejogu said the certificates are presented to only chairman today and not servants in the of Governor Adeleke's commitment to the well-being of workers and the response to the present economic situation in the country. The circular also said the arrangement excludes those on essential duties, such as medical personnel, security officers, as well as political handling of the corruption case against the immediate past Kogi Governor Yahaya Bello. The legislator during Monday's plenary in Lokoja condemned EFCC siege to the Kogi State Governor's Lodge in Abuja in an attempt to arrest Bello last Wednesday and accused the Olukoyede-led EFCC of attempting to assassinate both Bello and the incumbent governor Usman Ododo by allegedly firing gunshots during the attempt to arrest Bello in Abuja. The matter came up for deliberation at plenary after the lawmaker representing Ijimu State's constituency, Jacob Olawumi. Also speaking, Bode Ogumola, representing Ogiri Magongo State constituency, argued that the governor alleged that officials of the EFCC were begging the former governor to let them pretend as on the present and former governors, adding that the whole drama was a show to embarrass the former governor, adding that a coup attempt was committed at the Kogi State Governor's Lodge and called on the president to immediately remove the EFCC chairman to save the nation from further. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Yesom Wiye, is committed to ensuring projects of nutrition and as well receiving the delegation of Japan International Cooperation Agency on Tuesday, the 24th September 2024 in Abuja. The delegation came to seek for an approval of nutrition and regional urban development projects and implementation in Federal Capital Territory. Wike assured the delegation of FCTA partnership, stressing that the project will be included in the 2025 budget to ensure transparency and accountability. Speaking earlier, leader of the JICA delegation, Ambassador of Japan to Nigeria's vision of ending open defecation by 2030 through the provision of public mobile toilets in schools and streets of Abuja. On his part, representative of Bago, who also said most activities activated in today's work or social space are digitally oriented, enjoyed all the residents and visitors to the state to get themselves updated in the new media world. The governor gave the advice at the flag-off of a federal government by the National Information Development Agency in collaboration with the National Youth Service Corps, and also described the initiative as a welcome idea and the way forward, harped on the importance of digital literacy and revealed that Niger State has geared into the initiative to achieve more than the 70% target of the federal government. According to him, in some communities across the state, insecurity and natural disasters like flood have ravaged some areas, which he said resulted in out-of-school children between rival gangs. A statement by Kaduna's overseeing Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Wijana and Kaso Forest, which span Kachia and parts of Chunkon and Kajuru local government areas. According to the Commissioner, 2 other bandits were also killed while 5 others suffered life-threatening injuries in the clash, adding that Shame's gang was responsible for numerous attacks, killings and kidnappings in Kaduna and neighboring states. Including July, state security forces had been tracking Shame, who had repeatedly evaded capture, while his death was seen as a major victory in the fight against banditry in the region, particularly in the northwest. The state government called on residents of Rajina, Kaso, Kasamari, and Jakar, Darabi, Kajuru, and Duse general areas and beyond to be on the lookout and not render any assistance to suspicious persons seeking treatment for gun wounds. Rather, the government urged residents, former governor of Zamfara State, Bello Mutawali, has as a meth-saving Governor Dauda Lawal's recent attack on Minister of Defense for State over the delay to end banditry, which would have been easier if he cooperated with the minister and the military. This is coming after a memo appeared on social media recently showing how the Zamfara government allegedly pays, adding that such people are not fit to be in charge of the security of the nation. A statement is signed on behalf of the Patriots for Peace and Social Development. Shinakafi said the governor's resolve to reconstitute the Zamfara State Security Trust Fund he constituted and alleged abandoned shortly after he assumed office in May 2023 was a mere face-saving device. He also said instead of dissipating energy and resources in fighting Matawali, Lawal should have achieved much in collaborating with the Defense Ministry and security agencies against insecurity in the state. One soldier has been killed while 4 others escaped an ambush by bandits in the Dansadwa axis of Maru local government area of Zamfara state. Patrol and escort duty along Dansandwa Yabaka were not successful. Adamawa State government has confirmed the deadly cholera outbreak in the state after the death of 12 persons, while 304 hospitalized. Briefing journalists on Sunday in Yola, the Commissioner of Health, Chief Felix, in a meeting with some international partners and other top health officials, confirmed to journalists that the outbreak occurred 2 weeks ago. 244 persons have been treated and discharged, while one of the partners, the United Nations Children's Fund, has donated 200,000 doses of cholera drugs to the state government. Tangwami has advised members of the public to observe public health rules and avoid drinking untreated water, stressing that the government has taken measures to curtail the spread of the cholera outbreak in the state. Kano State Police in the early hours of Tuesday. He also said the vehicle in which the police officers were traveling had a head-on collision with a trailer in the village, and while 5 officers died on the spot, about 11 others who sustained various injuries were rushed to Murtala Mohammed Specialist Hospitals, where they are currently receiving medical attention. Independent Electoral Commission, as well as state government officials and other stakeholders to ensure a peaceful exercise. According to him, the necessary security measures Welcome back. This is a Global News and Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu has presented an additional supplementary budget proposal for the federal Wola. President Tinubu had previously sworn her in on an interim basis, adding that Section 231, subsection 1 of the Nigerian Constitution grants the President the authority to appoint the CJN based on the recommendation of the National Judicial Council and subject to Senate confirmation. Senate President Akpabio subsequently referred the nomination to the Committee of the Whole for deliberation on Wednesday. Nigeria has reaffirmed its commitment to fostering stronger international partnerships and representing President Bola Tinubu at the ongoing global event. Disclosed these at a high-level OACP's meeting on the sidelines of the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, USA. Angola chaired the meeting, the senior commitment to the organization's goal while addressing pressing national issues. The VP used the meeting to address Nigeria's recent inclusion on a high-risk jurisdiction list for anti-money laundering concerns and constructive dialogue with international partners, and reaffirmed Nigeria's support for OACP's initiatives, including the organization's focus on Haiti's ongoing crisis. The former Borno State governor outlined Nigeria's strategy to leverage its position as Africa's most populous nation to advocate for. The National Assembly resumed its plenary session on Tuesday following the annual recess that began in late July, while Senate President Godswill Akpabio and Speaker Tajuddin Abbas presided over the respective chambers. The communications included a supplementary appropriation bill for the Federal Capital Territory Administration, the nomination of Justice Kudirat Kekere Ekun for confirmation as the Chief Justice of Nigeria, and a request for the confirmation of commissioners for the
a very vibrant, distinguished colleague, a man who exuded so much candor, distinguished Senator Ifeanyi Ubah, was broken. A monumental loss to this National Assembly, the Senate in particular, his family, the good people of Anambra State and Nigeria as a whole, his family, his constituents, Anambra State, and indeed will do justice to his legacies by devoting more time in chambers to discuss the times and life of distinguished Senator Ifeanyi Ubah.
After the formalities, the lawmakers paid tribute to the late Senator Ifeanyi Ubah, CON, by observing a moment of silence. Senator Ubah, who passed away in late July 2024 at age 52, represented the Anambra South Senatorial District and chaired the Senate Committee on Petroleum Resources. State Senator Ifeanyi Ubah known as forum shopping. He disclosed this in Abuja Technical National Working Group Session Review and validation of the National Minimum Standard document for the to embrace the use of technology in day-to-day administration of justice. He stressed on the need to incorporate efficient use of technology into processes, systems and procedures for the advancement of the administration of criminal justice, adding that the federal government enacted the Administration of Criminal Justice Act in 2015 with a view to ensuring harmonious implementation of criminal justice reforms across the Federation. According to him, the Act provides for the administration of criminal justice system, which promotes efficient management of criminal justice institutions, speedy dispensation of justice, protection of the society from crimes, and protection of the rights and interests of the suspects, the defendant, and victims in Nigeria. October 31st, to deliver a ruling as well as judgment in a suit seeking the sack of the chairman of the board of the Niger Delta Development Commission, London, respectively, why Jerry Malude Aaron Aro representing Baramatu Kingdom, Mr. Jolomi Sukere representing Sekiri Oil and Gas producing communities, and Friday Ugedi representing the Bema Kingdom Oil, all in Delta, also sought to be joined as plaintiffs in the suit. At Tuesday's proceedings, plaintiffs through their lawyer, Eberupo Sotoyin Barakemi, urged the court to dismiss the preliminary objection filed by President Tinubu and the AGF, adding that the court should dismiss the entire case of all the respondents for lacking in merit. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Torid Labaja has assured troops of Operation Hadarin Daji of continuous support in the provision of needed logistics and guidance for the success of their operations. COAS, who disclosed this in Sokoto on Tuesday in his remarks while declaring open a one-day seminar on warrior ethos organized by the Department of Army Transformation and Innovation and represented by the acting GOC 8th Division, Brigadier General Ibikunle, continued to review its tactics, techniques, and procedures to come up with both kinetic and non-kinetic strategies to defeat these challenges while operating in a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous security environment. He urged commanders at all levels to continue to come up with innovative ideas to upscale their approaches towards improving man and battle readiness in line with his command philosophy for the Nigerian Army. COAS also commended the Department of Army Innovation and Transformation for organizing the seminar, which has said would raise necessary operational and situational awareness of the troops. Inspector General of Police Kayode Ebetukun says a total of 15 billion naira has been disbursed to 5,225 family members and next of kin of slain police officers between 2023 and 2024. According to him, a total of 9 billion naira was paid to 3,077 families and next of kin on 6 different occasions between July 2023 and June 2024. Presenting checks to the families and next of kin of the deceased in Abuja, Ebotukun said the disbursement covered balance payment for insurance policies for the years of 2018 to 2024, adding that it is the largest disbursement ever in the history of check presentations to family members of deceased police officers and reflects the commitment to easing the burden on the families of our fallen colleagues. Ebotukun, however, promised to prioritize the welfare of police officers, and speaking on behalf of the beneficiaries, Cecilia Christopher commended the IG for the gesture and urged the IG to help slain officers' children secure employment. National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, hailed the Federal High Court in Abuja for striking out a suit seeking the removal from office. The suit filed by the North Central APC Forum, led by Saleh Zazaga, listed as defendants were Ganduje, the APC, and the Independent National Electoral Commission. The plaintiff challenged the propriety of Ganduje's appointment as the APC National Chairman when he is not from the North Central Geopolitical Zone, while Justice Enyang Ekwo struck out the suit after upholding plenary objections filed by the APC and INEC in opposition to the suit. The APC National Chairman made the statement when he received a delegation of the North Central APC Elders Forum that came to congratulate him on the legal victory. While in his ruling, Justice Ekwo agreed that the contention in the APC's preliminary objection that the plaintiffs lacked the local standard to file the suit. He also agreed with INEC's plenary objection that the name the plaintiff has sued in Northern Central APC Forum was not a registered body, while Justice Ekwo in his ruling held that based on the contentious INEC, the onus rests on the claimants to present a certificate of registration from the Corporate Affairs Commission. Justice Binta Ayeko of the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has recused herself from the trial of the detained leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, on the allegation of bias leveled against her by the accused person. The decision of the judge to recuse herself from the trial followed Kanu's open outburst against his counsel and the judge. Kanu, who spoke from the dock at the resumed proceeding, directly told Justice Iyako that he no longer had confidence in her handling of his trial, while his lawyer, Aloy Ejimoko, was trying to persuade the court to suspend the trial on the basis that his client was denied the opportunity to prepare his defense, while Kanu got up from the seat and ordered him to sit down. The prosecution counsel, Adeboyega Owomolo, urged the court to proceed with the trial, but Justice Binta Iyako declined and recused herself from the case. Federal government has approved the creation of the National Citizens Value Brigade across primary and secondary schools nationwide. It said the gradual erosion of good morals and values among the youth, leading to various forms of misconduct, has raised concern recently, adding that the brigade is designed to instill the new culture of values the country can be proud of. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, who disclosed this to the State House after Federal Executive Council meeting at the Aso Rock Villa in Abuja, said government will raise the role model citizens from Nigeria Council that has gradually eroded the values. The FG also mandated the introduction of a national value charter into basic and post-basic school curricula, which includes standardizing national symbols, while the new syllabus will form key aspects of the topics to be taught in civic education and will be adopted by government appointees upon assumption of duty. He said the National Orientation Agency will reorient Nigerians on how to hoist the national flag in public buildings, offices, cars, and also stress the need for value reorientation among all Nigerians, while the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, said the new circular for schools will take effect in October 2024. Up next is business news. President Bola Tinubu says despite the pains occasioned by the removal of the fuel subsidy and other economic reforms introduced by his administration, Nigerians will start reaping the benefits of these sacrifices soon. Tinubu disclosed this in his address at the opening of the 2024 Annual National Management Conference of the Nigerian Institute of Management Chartered with the theme Economic Stability and National Security, the Contending Issues and the Way Forward, held in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Represented by the head of service of the Federation, Didi Esther Wolsinjak, the president, who was a special guest of honor at the event, explained that the decisions were aimed at stabilizing the weak economy which he inherited, adding that within the short time he had been in charge of steering the ship of the nation, his administration had made appreciable strides in diversifying the economy with significant investment in some critical sectors such as agriculture, technology, and renewable energy. He said in addition to economic drawbacks, the country faces a myriad of security challenges, including terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, and communal clashes, which requires a multifaceted approach to tackle them. United States Chambers of Commerce has expressed willingness to invest approximately $320 million in mortgage refinancing and small and medium enterprises in Nigeria. A statement issued by the spokesperson for Vice President Kashim Shettima, Stanley Gwocha, and Nisha Biswal, Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation, said a portfolio of $1 billion, the chamber would invest $200 million in mortgage refinancing in Nigeria, and the American Chamber remains committed to working with Nigerians in developing and pursuing sustainable economic policies. In response, Vice President Shettima, who is leading the Nigerian delegation at the ongoing United Nations General Assembly, reiterated President Bola Tinubu's commitment to investor-friendly policies. Earlier, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, briefed the Vice President on the delegation's activities and itinerary in New York, while the Vice President was expected to deliver President Tinubu's national statement at the general debate of the UNGA. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has arrested a 48-year-old businessman, Christian Obuji. Obuji was first arrested at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, upon arrival from Uganda via Addis Ababa for ingesting 93 pellets of cocaine weighing 1.986 kg. He was subsequently arraigned before Federal High Court, 12th Abuja, presided over by Justice Mobolaji Oluwajohun, and convicted on July 13, 2023, and also sentenced to 2 years imprisonment with an option of paying a fine of 3 million naira. A statement by the spokesperson for the agency, Femi Babafemi, said Obuchi paid the fine and forfeited the seized 1.986 kilograms of cocaine. His international passport, $14 and 9,000 Uganda shillings were found on him at the time of his arrest. Babafemi said the suspect claimed he had to procure a new international passport to continue his criminal trade. International tidbits. Nigeria has made its case for proper representation on the United Nations Security Council. It said having contributed to at least 41 peacekeeping missions globally and deploying over 200,000 Nigerian troops in UN operations, it deserves a seat on the global security organ. Minister of Defense Mohammed Badaru disclosed this when he addressed the 79th United Nations General Assembly in New York, U.S., adding that the summit of the Future Interactive Dialogue 2 with the theme Enhancing Multilateralism for International Peace and Security focuses on the Security Council as one of the 6 principal organs of the United Nations. He said the 15 permanent members are charged with ensuring international peace and security, recommending the admission of the new UN members to the General Assembly and approved changes to the UN Charter, which also establishes peacekeeping operations, enacts international sanctions and authorities and authorized military operations. At the summit, Nigeria's defense minister said Nigeria has remained unequivocal in its commitment to international peace building and security since the first engagement of its troops in the Congo in 1960. Tropical storm that struck Mexico's southern Pacific coast as a major hurricane, but forecasters warned of heavy rain and flash floods multiplied in the southern states of Chiapas, Oaxaca, and Guerrero. Authorities had advised residents to seek shelter as strong winds and rain battered beaches ahead of John landfall near Mequilia in Guerrero, adding that a tropical storm warning was in place from east of Acapulco to Luganes de Chacuta on the Pacific coast. The agency issued a red alert on Monday, advising people to stay indoors and avoid windows, while President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador also urged coastal residents to be prepared, while authorities in Oscada reported that temporary shelters were being opened, schools were being closed, beaches were being shut, and machinery was being mobilized in case road clearance was necessary. Here now is ATN Sports News. Former Manchester United midfielder Owen Hergraves has backed Eric Ten Hag's side to win the UEFA Europa League this season. The former England international believes the Red Devils are in the right place to win another trophy this season after not impressing in both the Champions League and Premier League last term. This season's Europa League will start on Wednesday, and Man United would host Twente at Old Trafford on Wednesday night. Entertainment news. Award-winning Afrobeat sensation David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, has arrived in New York to perform at an official event during the 78th National United Nations General Assembly. The musician, who revealed that this would be his first time attending the assembly, expressed his excitement on X. Davido joins fellow Nigerian disc jockey and musician Florence Ifeoluwa Otedola, popularly known as DJ Copy, who hosted an opening session at the United Nations General Assembly. Nigerian R&B singer Bakunle Wellington, popularly known as Banky W, has relocated to the United States with his family. He disclosed this in a recent Instagram post that he aims to pursue a master's degree at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C., while his wife, actress Adesua Etumi Wellington, and their child at the airport. The singer called on his fans to wish him and his family well. Reacting via the comment section, his wife Adesua wrote, "Home is wherever you are." Controversial Nollywood actor Yul Edochie has shared his thoughts on boxer Anthony Joshua's loss at Wembley Stadium. This is coming after Anthony Joshua was knocked out in the 5th round by his rival Daniel Dubios during their heavyweight clash on Saturday, September 21, 2024. Reflecting on his loss during his post-match press conference, Joshua attributed his defeat to a series of mistakes made throughout the bout. Reacting to the development, Yul, who claimed to be the boxer's strong supporter, stated that Anthony seems to be tired of boxing.